Hello and welcome to this Project in a Box video tour. In this session we're going to be looking at the new version 5 of Planner. This is an introduction and overview to the system. So let's start by thinking about the history of Planner. Started back in 2011 initially as a planning and resourcing tool, moving on from spreadsheets that people were using to collect simple bits of planning data, aimed at doing the things that you find in the majority of Microsoft Project files, not the majority of Microsoft Project functionality, but the basic set of things that most people tend to do. We extended that later in 2011 based on really positive feedback to add risk and issue management as well, and language and locale features. The next year, 2012, saw Planner version 3 released, so adding analysis, filtering of task risks and issues, and reporting via printing options, some improved display, and the ability to import and export backwards and forwards with Microsoft Project. So not unsurprisingly, when it was reviewed in 2012, Planner version 3 by Project Manager Today said it was an excellent entry-level scheduling and risk management system. We've continued to develop Planner heavily over the years. The notable point within that is 2015's Planner version 3.3. This included timesheet actuals data collection for the amount of work people had actually recorded against tasks, as opposed to the required amount based on the percentage allocation to tasks. Also, this saw the ability for users of the main PIAB system to be able to edit their Planner files, either using the Planner application, as everybody else does, or also to edit them through a browser. So we've taken the Planner model, put it into a browser interface, so that you can, if you're on a tablet, smartphone, etc., you can still edit your Planner files and contribute that task risk and issue data. Continual development of Planner periodically with new releases and fixes, etc. 2017 though, we're now releasing Planner version 5, some major new capabilities here, calendar and milestone displays, status and issue data extension, so collecting a lot more data from your system and making that available for you in analysis and also through to the main PIAB application, and again a range of data display improvements. So lots going on in Planner. It's moved very quickly from a new sort of fresh phased application through to where we are now, very mature, used extensively by people, a lot of people stopping using Microsoft Project and using Planner instead. So our intention is that this will remain free forever. You can download it, you can use it for as long as you want, you can use it on as many projects as you want, you can give it to whoever you want to help contribute to your projects. This is not a trial, it's a proper free piece of software. So what's in Planner version 5? Let's look at that in a bit more detail. Calendar display. This brings together information from tasks, risks and issues, and shows that on a calendar, either a monthly or a weekly view. You can hover for further information, you can click to edit the items. So it's enabling you to get to everything that's happening today or this week and review and update that content. A milestone timeline, so this is generating automatically for you a timeline for the project from whenever it starts to finishes, and dropping on it the milestones currently selected in your view. Can be all the milestones, can be just those filtered down, and the milestones will be displayed with an icon depending on their percentage complete, whether they're overdue or not, and they can all be labelled, and you can get that out as a nice image to use in reports if you want to. We're now allowing you to set colour bands for your risk ratings. So inherent and residual risk ratings, you can define bands and those will colour accordingly. So lots of different organisations using different calculation approaches, 3x3, 5x5 type methods with different scoring, and you can simply identify what those bands are going to be, what colour you want and what scoring range, and it will then colour all those up for you. That's both on the list view and also in the edit form. We're now also collecting status and commentary information at the task or plan, risk and issue levels. This is allowing you to collect some sort of overview summary of those various areas. They're going to be feeding through to the main application, the main PIAB application, for reporting purposes, but obviously for Planner it's a useful, if you're just a standalone Planner user, it's also a useful collection and storage. So we're also collecting a whole load more information around issues. So if you've got an issue which is likely to be a change or has a substantial impact on the project, you can record data about the cost, time and quality impacts. and those will also be rolled up at the project level. So very much like we have project risk scores rolling up the risks to the project level, we're going to do the same thing with issues as well. Also a plan progress measure, so plan progress to date. This is a bit different from what often people want to ask the question, is the project on track? And the way that this is often done is to look at the total percentage complete line for the project and today's date, and if the percentage complete line is beyond today's date, you think you're on track. But that very much depends on the weighting of where in the project all the tasks are. If there's more before today or after today, and so this measure is instead looking at all the tasks through to today, and it's looking at whether they are complete or not, and that's what that measure is. So you've now got two different measures. You've got your project level percentage complete, and you've got your plan progress to date. Really useful way of identifying where you are with the project. And then the last two items here are really focusing on users of the main PIAB system. So we've got taking that timesheet actuals data that we talked about earlier, that's been collected by Planner, and we now load that out to PIAB. So when you check your plan back in, we read all that data out and put it into a database, and you can now filter and analyze that at an aggregated level, so you can bring together all your actuals data across all of your projects and go away and get cuts of that data for your finance purposes. We're also bringing many more stats from Planner. So there are some I've mentioned, the status and commentaries, the issue related stats, total project level cost and time and quality impacts, etc. But we're also bringing back things like the number of tasks, the number of overdue tasks, the number of tasks not yet complete, the number of tasks on track, etc. So you can go away and look for teasing out that sort of data, and you can of course roll that data up across your portfolios if you want to in the main application as well. So bringing the sort of plan stats, we were probably bringing about 15 before, and it's now about 30-35. So much more data that you can use to analyze in an automated sense the performance of your tasks, risks and issues on the project. So that's a quick overview. We're going to go through some of that in detail in the next couple of videos. So video 1 is going to focus on the calendar, milestones and risk rating changes, and video 2 is going to focus on more of the statistical type of aspects of the planner change. Okay, hope you found that useful and want to stay on and watch the next two videos. Thank you.